This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story, how one of the fastest growing cities on the Suncoast will change as it prepares to welcome the Atlanta Braves in 2019.
The city of Northport isn't known as a big hub for tourism, but that could change in the coming years. ABC7's Christopher Brantley shows us what changes are already in the works.
And it was because of the quietness and the nature surrounding it that really we decided this is the place we wanted to have our retirement home.
Catherine Lanza and her husband moved to Northport 10 years ago after 20 years of visiting. They like the small town atmosphere, but they see a change, especially with the Atlanta Braves.
We know it will bring all kinds of development and other things with it, and that I expect could not be a bad thing.
It might not be a bad thing for Lanza, but it certainly is different than what Northport was originally planned for.
Originally it was developed to be a bedroom community to serve our surrounding communities, Sarasota, Fort Myers area, to have more of the job impact.
That bedroom community now has an average age of 41. As the generation shifts, more young companies are moving here. A private developer has submitted plans to build a health and wellness center right next to Warm Mineral Springs. The center, potential hotel and restaurant are expected to be a boost to local jobs.
We have a large workforce that has to leave, get on there in the mornings every day to go where there's jobs. This will help keep jobs here.
At 58 years old, Northport is the youngest local community, as it still works to find its appeal to visitors and new residents alike. Current residents seem to be keeping an open mind.
When you think about the age of it, I think there's just a lot of growing pains that we've gone through, and I think that the best days are ahead. I do.
Well, we should point out that the entire area around where the Atlanta Braves Stadium is being built will feature a brand new downtown area, complete with a shopping plaza. That entire area will look quite different in about 15 years.
New details tonight on a shooting at a weekend baby shower in Sarasota. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says the man who was shot Saturday evening has now been identified as 29-year-old Jamal Edwards of Parrish. He was shot at a home on Caicos Court while a baby shower was taking place. Deputies say Edwards was leaving the party when two people wearing masks shot him multiple times as Edwards tried to run away. Edwards is still being treated at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Deputies say based on their preliminary investigation, they believe the shooting is connected to an incident the night before at a club called The Hall in Palmetto. Deputies say Edwards was involved in a large fight in the parking lot and think he was targeted in the shooting because of that fight.
And Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a shooting and attempted robbery in Bradenton. Deputies say 2 or 3 people went up to a car parked near Rolette Magnet Elementary School just before midnight. They asked the 3 people inside the car to give them everything that they have. When they told the robbers they didn't have anything, one of the victims was shot in the eye and shoulder. The victim was taken to Manatee Memorial Hospital.
All this week, voters in the city of Venice can cast their ballots for 2 city council seats. Early voting for the general election started today. City residents are choosing council members for seat 1 and 2. Emilio Carlissimo and Mitzi Fiedler are on the ballot for seat 1. For seat 2, it's Deborah Anderson and Charles Newsom. Residents can cast their ballots early at the Robert L. Anderson Administration Center. That's on South Tamiami Trail in Venice from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Early voting will continue through Friday, and the general election will take place on Tuesday, November 7th. Also in Venice, the official start to a highly anticipated construction project. Ground was broken on Nokomis Avenue for Venice's new public library this morning. The old building was torn down last year after mold became a concern. Now plans are in the works to rebuild the library, which will feature a cafe as well as an outdoor reading garden. The library is getting a new name as well. It's being named after a local philanthropist named Bill Jervey Jr., who made a $1 million commitment to create an endowment for that new building.
Well, I've always used libraries, and I think it's a time to pay it forward, as we say. And I can't think of a better place to put my money.
Sarasota County hopes to have that library open for business by the end of next year.
Well, those cooler temperatures certainly feeling nice as we start the week today.
You saw some jackets there at the library this morning. Yeah, they needed it to stay warm. Let's get more with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
I saw a temperature this morning at 47 degrees. Temperatures are on the cool side, to say the least, right now as a result of a large area of high pressure and those northerly winds bringing in the cool conditions on that north wind. We expect another night of temperatures in the 40s here tomorrow morning. Some areas we'll see into the mid 40s well east of I-75. Currently we have sunshine and 68 degrees. The dew point temperature continues to drop. It's now down to 28. Look at that humidity, 22%. Winds are out of the north at 10, the barometer 30.06. That's high, and that continues to rise at this hour. The Gulf water temperature has really cooled down, too. It's down to 72 now, and that will go even cooler overnight tonight. 69 in Braden, at 68 in Mayaca City, 70 now into Northport, and temperatures in the upper 60s at Cortez, Sarasota, Venice, and Inglewood. And it looks as though, as I said, temperatures tonight will drop down into the upper 40s for most areas, even near the coast. At 11 o'clock tonight, we'll have clear skies running through the evening, and temperature of 53 degrees with a north wind will make it feel even cooler as a result of that northerly wind that we are anticipating throughout the night, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. Here's the forecast then for some key cities overnight as that cool air kind of drains down into the state. We're expecting low temperatures down at 9 o'clock, 55, but we'll be into the upper 40s around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Then it will gradually warm up throughout the day into the mid 70s. Well, more in the forecast for the rest of the work week. Let you know if any rain is in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Now to the developing story on the Russian investigation. The first indictments from special counsel Robert Mueller are now being made public. Among those charged, Paul Manafort, the president's former campaign manager, Rick Gates, the deputy campaign manager, and George Papadopoulos, a foreign policy advisor to then candidate Trump. ABC's Lana Zach has the breaking details on those indictments.
It doesn't have anything to do with us.
White House spokesperson Sarah Sanders is distancing President Trump from the 3 men indicted by special counsel Robert Mueller. Among them, campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos, shown here with Mr. Trump in a meeting that the candidate described as my national security team.
This individual was the member of a volunteer advisory council that met one time over the course of a year.
But President Trump had also previously praised Papadopoulos.
George Papadopoulos, he's an oil and energy consultant, excellent guy.
In fact, according to the indictment, at this meeting, Papadopoulos stated he had connections that could help arrange a meeting between Mr. Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The indictment also charges that Papadopoulos met with a professor connected to Russian government officials and a Russian woman who falsely claimed to be related to Putin. But perhaps most damagingly, the indictment alleges that Papadopoulos notified at least 3 senior campaign officials that the Russians had thousands of emails damaging to Hillary Clinton. Papadopoulos pled guilty earlier this month to lying to the FBI. It was made public today, on the same day that Paul Manafort, the former Trump campaign chairman, and deputy campaign manager Rick Gates pled not guilty to 12 counts, including conspiracy against the United States, false statements, and conspiracy to launder money.
President Donald Trump was correct. There is no evidence that Mr. Manafort or the Trump campaign colluded with the Russian government.
And in fact, the charges against Manafort and Gates do not directly reference any allegations of collusion between Russia and members of the Trump campaign. Both Gates and Manafort have been released to home confinement, Manafort on a $10 million bond and Gates a $5 million one. Reporting from outside the U.S. District Court in Washington, Lana Zach, ABC News.
And we will continue to monitor this developing situation in Washington on the investigation into the election. And you can be instantly alerted to breaking news just by downloading the new ABC7 News app. You can get information on the latest breaking and local news by downloading the latest updated version of the app. iPhone users can go to the App Store and search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News, should their license be taken away? A judge will now decide the future of a Florida nursing home where more than a dozen people died after Hurricane Irma.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus not as much time or help for the Affordable Care Act, how the cuts could affect the sign-up process.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it
You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I dropped it on the floor, and he stepped on it.
No matter how you broke your smartphone, there's only one smart way to fix it. Batteries plus bulbs. Schedule your repair at batteriesplus.com.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
An update now to a court case surrounding the Florida nursing home where 14 people died after Hurricane Irma. A judge will hold a multi-day hearing in January about the rehabilitation center at Hollywood Hills. The center lost air conditioning when Irma hit the area on September 10th. 8 people died 3 days later, and 6 more died after evacuations. The state now wants to revoke the nursing home's license, saying it failed to recognize the potential health risk of the rising temperatures and humidity inside the building. The center is challenging the license revocation.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. Richard, not too great of a day on Wall Street today.
Jacqueline, I'm afraid you've got it right, but my memory says Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday were all pretty darn strong. So even though we were down 106 points at the low of the day, really not a terrible finish by any means. And it's really going to be a very busy week. Tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the Federal Reserve Board's Open Market Committee will meet. They'll have an announcement about a change in rates or a lack of a change in rates at 2 o'clock Wednesday. I think it's going to be a lack of a change of rates. Thursday, a couple of important things. Apple is going to announce quarterly earnings. That will be a big deal. And also on Thursday, presumably President Trump is going to name his choice to be the new chairman of the Federal Reserve Board. Topping that off on Friday, the October unemployment report. Yep, we got a pretty busy week. Let's take a look at a down day, although not a terrible day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 85 points, just over 1/3% at 23,348.74. That on volume of 718 million shares. The Nasdaq barely moved, down less than 2.5 points, 0.03% at 6,698.96. That on volume of 1,588 million shares. The S&P, very much like the Dow, down 1/3%, just over 8 points at 2,572.83. Miami-based Lennar Homes was the second largest home builder in this country. I say was because Lennar announced this morning it will pay $5.9 billion for a home builder that is based in Arlington, Virginia. The two companies combined will be now the largest builder in this country. Certainly Lennar has done very well. As a result of this purchase, they will be having annual revenues, they believe, of $17 billion. They will have markets of 49 markets in 21 states. Their headquarters will remain in Miami, and the company from Virginia will, in fact, be taking its orders from Miami. I guess if you pay $5.9 billion, you can give the orders. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, certainly. And I understand there's a trifecta on Wall Street today, Richard.
A trifecta and a down day, but how about a record close for Apple, a record close for Amazon, and a record close for Facebook? That's a trifecta in my book.
Yeah, pretty hot companies right there.
Yes, sir.
Richard, thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
All right, Bob is back, and I think it's great you're wearing pink today because what an event on Saturday morning.
20,000, I think, estimate, maybe even more than that. Yeah, it was just amazing. Sea of pink. Walking around Benderson Park, Nathan Benderson Park, it was just kind of neat to see all the folks lined up around there, over 3 mile course. So it was a very interesting and very good weather-wise. It stayed nice out there throughout the morning. So I was in charge of the weather, so it worked out really quite nice for that. Beautiful day today, too. And yesterday, it was so nice out there. I was working outdoors. Just never felt any problems with the weather. Really just kind of chill out there, nice chilling conditions. Van Way's a webcam showing if you're boating, it's a little bit cooler out there out on the waters. Water temperatures really cooled down to into the low 70s now. A little bit too cool for me to go out there, but I know years ago I went out there when it was 58 degrees out into the Gulf of Mexico, a little bit chilly. Temperature into the upper 60s right now. Gulf water temperature there, it is 72. That's taken at the end of the Venice Pier. It's 68 now at Arcadia, Wauchula, Mayaca City, 1 degree warmer in Bradenton, Cortez, and Sarasota at 68. Dew point temperatures are extremely low for this time, and it's 28 degrees now in Sarasota, 55 in Key West, and 35 into Miami. That's even low there, 34 into Tallahassee. Lows tonight will be extremely chilly into the upper 40s to mid 40s across the area. Titan radar not depicting any rainfall around either, and it's going to stay dry throughout the week. Rain chances less than 10% all the way through Friday. 68 degrees right now, sunshine, dew point, there it is, 28 degrees, and the humidity 22%, north winds at 10, and the pressure continues to rise. We are expecting lows even near the coast into the upper 40s. We'll see some mid 40s inland under fair skies. Hardly any clouds around at all, and temperatures warming into the mid-70s tomorrow for highs. We'll see high temperatures right around 75 degrees, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and no clouds really to mention as a result of that large dome of high pressure, lots of dry air in place, and a north to northeast wind will keep things a little bit below average as far as temperatures go. And in the tropics, all is quiet now. The remnants of Philippe are gone for the most part, and nothing going on down here, but this is about the only area that the systems can develop. This and also way out in the Atlantic. But for the time being, nothing going on here. All is quiet and should stay that way for the foreseeable future. As far as the season being over, it officially ends November 30th. Now, Futurecast, a wider view showing not a lot going on here as high pressure dominates our weather through Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday. Here's an approaching front, but it doesn't have much luck in breaking down this area of high pressure that's going to be situated and parked right over Florida and the Carolinas for that matter. We'll see a little bit of an easterly component, which could bring some showers along the East Coast, but we're not anticipating much rainfall here along the West Coast. As I mentioned, water temperatures are starting to cool down in the Gulf. That's good news. And in the western portion of the Caribbean, still pretty warm there into the mid 80s to even upper 80s. Satellite and radar picture showing that frontal system and low pressure area moving through the Great Lakes right now, producing some rain snow mix in Michigan, also into Wisconsin, some snow falling in northern portions of Minnesota tonight. Secondary low continues to move off the coast of Maine. And there's that frontal boundary. You can see that front, that cold front stretching down through Cincinnati now. Much cooler weather behind it. Temperatures in the 30s in places like Minot, North Dakota, Minneapolis, 34, 45 in Chicago. It's 41 now into Cleveland and 59 in Washington. Temperature 76 in Dallas, still pretty warm in New Orleans at 73 and mild in Atlanta at 65. For boaters, it checks in like this tomorrow. Northeasterly winds will be at 10 knots and seas running 1 to 2 feet. A light chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature 72. And the beaches will see a high right around 74 tomorrow. High UV index will be at a 12 tomorrow. The tides have come for Sarasota Bay. High tide at 10:31. And that should be p.m., by the way. Low tide will be at 5:05. And sunset will be at 6:48. Clear and cool tonight. Mid to upper 40s. Northeast winds at 5 to 10. And tomorrow, lots of sunshine. Another beautiful day. High temperatures a little bit warmer, 76. Northeast winds at 5 to 10. And the extended forecast calling for great weather for the trick-or-treaters tomorrow night, and we'll look for a fall back in time Saturday night, Sunday. That's about the only two things going on weather-wise. Otherwise, sunshine throughout the week. Back to you.
Beautiful week. Thank you so much, Bob. Now to First Alert traffic. Traffic's backed up on US 41 in Sarasota, both of the north and southbound lanes right near Fruitville Road. And then there's also some congestion on Fruitville as drivers head to the east and at the west as you approach 301. The interstate not looking too bad at this hour, though. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, it's the start of the sign-up season for the Affordable Care Act, but the Trump administration isn't making it easy. The enrollment period has been cut in half, and the number of counselors who help people sign up and get through the process has also been dialed back. Many people already faced fewer choices and higher premiums and other out-of-pocket costs. President Trump's decision to cancel subsidies to insurers that lower consumer costs compounded the turmoil, pushing premiums even higher. The number of uninsured people may start to rise again. That sign-up season starts this Wednesday and ends on December 15th in most states. Well, a team of Norwegian researchers is linking acetaminophen to attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. They studied 95,000 mothers over 10 years and discovered that women who consume the drug long-term while they were pregnant increased their risk of having a child with ADHD by 220%. The study defines long-term use as 29 days or more during pregnancy, but many doctors point out that the results do not indicate that acetaminophen actually causes ADHD. They cite the lack of a standard in diagnosing the condition as a major flaw in that research. Coming up, trapped at sea for 5 months, 2 women share what it was like waiting for weeks to be rescued. Plus, a racetrack becomes a runway, why a pilot had to make this emergency landing. Straight ahead.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Do you need a good laugh? Starting November 1st at the Players Center, everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the smash hit comedy Moon Over Buffalo. This wild Broadway series production shows what happens both on stage and off. Contact the Players at 365-2494 or at theplayers.org. The show must go on with Moon Over Buffalo.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now, 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
We first told you about their ordeal on Friday. Now the two women and their dogs, who were lost at sea for months before being saved by the U.S. Navy, are opening up about the rescue. ABC's Danya Backus has their story.
Just when they thought they were out of luck.
When we saw the Navy, we were like, yes!
A wave and kisses the moment a rescue team finally reached Jennifer Apple, Tasha Fuyaba, and their two dogs, Valentine and Zeus.
We had tears going down our eyes, and we're like, okay, they see us, they see us.
The four were adrift at sea for 5 months. Their harrowing ordeal started in May as they were attempting a pleasure sail from Hawaii to Tahiti. But shortly after their departure, a massive storm crippled their engine, damaged the boat, and at one point sharks rammed their vessel.
When those things would hit the boat, my own teeth would rattle in my head, and really we were kind of on the ground just praying.
For months, their distress calls and signal flares went unanswered, and their year-long supply of food was almost gone.
When we realized we weren't no one was assisting us, we actually talked about how we believed we'd been left for dead.
Yeah.
And that was it.
They were drifting aimlessly 900 miles off the coast of Japan until after more than 150 days of waiting, a Taiwanese fishing vessel spotted them and alerted the Navy. The women are now grateful to the sailors and crew members aboard the USS Ashland who not only saved them, but welcomed their dogs with open arms.
Nearly 6 months of just, both of us loving them. That'd be like over 300 people just petting them, loving them.
The two are hoping their boat, which was left adrift, will be rescued and they will once again be able to sail on the vessel that kept them safe for months. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, a quick-thinking state trooper and a jet ski owner worked together to rescue 3 boaters in trouble near St. Pete. Corporal Jim Covert was checking a rest area near the Sunshine Skyway Bridge yesterday when he saw an overturned boat and 3 people sitting on top of it. Covert called for help, but there were not any rescue boats nearby, so he flagged down a man on a jet ski who helped rescue those 3 boaters. All of them were brought to shore and no one was injured. Meanwhile, a pilot is seriously hurt tonight after he had to make an emergency landing on a racetrack. The small plane was having mechanical problems, so the pilot decided to land it at a racetrack park in Dawson County, Georgia, just north of Atlanta. The pilot, who was the only one on board, is in a nearby hospital in serious condition. That plane had taken off from Gainesville, and the Federal Aviation Administration is now investigating the incident.
Now to dinosaur races. For the 2nd year in a row, people wearing dinosaur costumes laced up their running shoes for Nashville's T-Rex Stampede. The event started as a joke on social media, but it has quickly gained steam, and now organizers are hoping it'll become an annual tradition. This year, about 25 people took part. No word yet if all that running left the dinos sore.
Could you imagine if you didn't know that was going on and you saw all of those dinosaurs running around?
They don't look easy to run in, do they?
Pretty entertaining.
That's funny.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, we'll be right back with more news and weather.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.